All right. We have Joe Ajaero joining us now. Good morning. Happy International Workers' Day. He is NLC president. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Now, quickly, the question of the increments the federal government made, that's a 25 to 35% increment. We hear that Labour is rejecting this. Tell us why.
Well, I think the announcement was made in bad faith. For a category of the civil servants that have not received what they call, conhess. For the past 3 months, the agitation has been, the past 3 years, the agitation has been there on the part of the head of service to harmonize it, like the education sector has received, but the paramilitary and others have not received. And then it requires an internal memo to say that what we gave to people 3 years ago, 2 years ago, this is your own. How does that translate to increase in salaries of civil servants? It's not true. There is no such increase anywhere. If you are being paid 20,000 before and your colleagues are being paid 30,000, and you have been crying for it to be harmonized in the civil service, and those people are now being given the same 30,000. How does that translate to increase in salary? I don't think there's anything like that.
Now, quickly, we also hear that you're clamoring for a living wage. What makes up this living wage, and what are we looking at if we're talking about living wage?
Well, the issue of living wage, even now, is difficult to situate because of the dynamics of the economy of Nigeria. Like we are asking for housing and accommodation of about 40,000, because I'm trying to break it down. Before the current tariff increase, we requested for 20,000. Of course, if you buy a card of 20,000, it will not last for 1 week. A utility we put about 10,000 for water. Kerosene and gas, we looked at 35,000. Of course, you know what it takes to fill it. And the food, we looked at maybe 9,000 a day for a family of 6. For 30 days, that's where we are getting about 270. So you can see feeding 6 people with 9,000 in a day. And we looked at, at 50,000. In that case, you should not even have surgery or any major problem. Clothing 20,000, education 50,000. Maybe that one, maybe you take your children to school, bring them back. They are not in any international school. And look at sanitation, 10,000. At the end, we look at transportation for a worker that is in the fringes, for 30 days. There's no day you spend up to.
Okay. Comrade, because of our time, let me just quickly throw in this question. So how do you want to move forward with government now that you have rejected this move by the federal government, the increment, and also the push for a living wage?
It's not a rejection. What they did was the people they were not paying before, they said they would pay them. That has been in existence for over 3-4 years. It's not a new wage. Nobody is rejecting anything. You are trying to pay the other people what you have not been paying others. It doesn't translate to a salary increase or review. That's the point we are trying to make here. But announcing it now, that is Mayday, is what makes it, suspicious. Yeah, you can't announce it and you say you have increased wages by a certain percentage. When majority of the people, about 80% of the workforce, have been getting this, and then the remaining people, you have not been paying the last 3 years, you now want to pay them. And then you announce that it's increase in salary. It's not true.
So how do you want to move the conversation with government after now, with this move that it has made? What is the conversation going to be with government?
The conversation that is on our table before every Nigerian is on minimum wage. The minimum wage of 30,000 expired by April 18th. And any moment from now, we'll be more serious in demanding for it. So as of today, there's no minimum wage, in Nigeria. The act that established it expired by, and the government has refused to convene a meeting for us to conclude negotiation on it. That is what is going to, determine the industrial climate in the next few days. We are going to demand that it should be paid, especially as the old one has expired. That's situation.
And that's a fine place to leave the conversation this morning. We must thank you, President of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero, for your time on the program. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Thank you.
All right, this is where we